welcome back to the second hour of 8-Bit. I'm djWHEAT, joined by itmeJP. We've talked pretty much about everything else that we've been playing and or watching. And the only thing left on that list is Titanfall. So we're going to tackle that, talk about a few interesting news items, and then if we have some time, we'll open up those phone call lines. So JP, Titanfall hits an interesting time. Here comes Valentine's Day, which happy V-Day to you all. And they're like, boom, Titanfall beta. Game comes out in about a month. This is sort of the Xbox One's killer app, as I think a lot of people have been anxiously waiting for this. But, of course, coming out on PC as well. The beta is now scattered and in the hands of many already. We've seen a lot of Twitch streams. You have streamed a bunch. You've put 8 hours into it. Really curious to hear your thoughts on Call of Titanfall. Titanfall with Call of Duty with movement with robots with Titanfall.
I think that's pretty accurate. I think to start off with, I've pretty much hated every single Call of Duty that's come out since Call of Duty 4. Now, whether that's because they've all been the same game or whether it's just not fun for me to play those type of games anymore, I'm not sure what it is. But going into the Titanfall beta, I was not really excited. I was excited for the fact that it was a game on the Xbox One, not because the game excited me, if that makes any sense. I basically just wanted something to play. And so then I got into the beta last night, and I was pretty amped after watching some of the streams just because it was a new thing. And I played, like you said, for about 8 hours. I was playing with Chris from NVIDIA, Sledgehammer, a.k.a. Matthew. Oh, God, I got to remember his name now. Matthew Everett? Yes, he's the EA community manager for Titanfall. And then Femsteph, who is the publicist for Titanfall. I just happened to be in a call with them last night. It was kind of weird. It was also kind of weird because I couldn't criticize the game while on the call with them. I didn't want to be like, what the fuck? Why can't I do this shit? What are you doing?
Piece of shit.
I felt really bad about it because like my chat was really anti-EA, and that was really interesting. But regardless, it was nice having them there because I was able to ask them things within the game and figure things out very quickly instead of just guessing, right? So I don't know where to start with it because first off, the game's a lot of fun. It's totally very easy to jump in. It's very easy. The rounds are very quick. If you're playing attrition, which is basically Titanfall's name for deathmatch, but they can't call it deathmatch because there's AI in it. And if you call it that, then it's really weird because like you can slaughter like 20 AI and never take damage at all. They're just in the game there. It's basically cannon fodder. But they do have a role in the game in the sense that whenever you kill them, your Titan meter ticks down. So if you can find them faster or get to them faster, then you can get your Titan out faster. Because it's got a clock that ticks down starting, I think, at maybe 3 minutes. If you kill an opponent, that knocks off 30 seconds. And I think it's 5 seconds if you kill an AI or something like that.
For your ability to call down the Titan.
Yes, and I'm not sure if those are the correct times. I want to say they are, but I have not played enough to know that yet. The combat of the game, like the gunplay, is very Call of Duty, in the sense that it takes like if you're pretty close range with someone and you just aim down sight at someone, you can kill them in like less than a second, like just like instantly just kill them.
Some of the other similarities, JP, like let's even like pull back one step.
Sure.
The fonts are almost exactly the same. When you hit someone, you get that same little like cross reticle that pops up indicating that you've hit someone. Like it was really kind of shocking to me. And I guess I guess it shouldn't be too shocking because I'm always saying too, like, why, if you're going to make the best game, you might as well imitate what the best games have done to do that.
Yeah.
But it was so like, in your face.
It's very, very similar.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's weird because like it sets instant expectations to me as playing the game and like it feeling more like a Call of Duty. So anyway, I mean, yeah, like a lot of the gunplay and stuff is the same, but even some of the aesthetic looks, I'm just like,
Well,
holy
even
shit.
the movement, if you're just running forward, like it's got that head bob thing that Call of Duty does, where like it feels like it feels like the character is like moving back and forth, just like Call of Duty does when you're like sprinting or whatever. Um, and like the way that the gun pulls up, it's very Call of Duty, which of course it is because the guys that made it are the original Call of Duty creators. So
right.
it makes sense for that to be there. What of course makes it stand out is the fact that there's mechs, and the other big thing is the act of parkouring, which
that's what I really want to talk about.
I really don't like the word parkour as a verb just because it's so like fucking like it's jumping. Like there's a jump mechanic to it. Like why is it called parkour? Is it because you're fucking it's not actually parkour. Real parkour is so different from what this is.
Yeah.
I just hate that fucking word.
It's just jumping. The ability to jump and grab on shit and double jump. And yes. Yeah. But any sort of movement that's not just a normal jump in video games automatically seems to be parkour.
Exactly. Go back to that the screenshot at the top of that article where it's in the cityscape.
This one?
We'll have to wait. I'll eventually start explaining my thought.
Where they're actually fighting. He's fighting in a mech.
Yeah. So in that city, the buildings are there's some buildings that are very close together. There's some that are wider apart. And it's cool because in Call of Duty, the game's very like flat, right?
Right, exactly.
In this game,
it's vertical.
The building, so those two buildings, the red one and then the yellow one on the right-hand side, in between it, there's a small space. And you can go up into it. And say if you're facing outward and not facing either wall, you can jump or hit spacebar, which is also the parkour button, I guess, if you want to call that. And like go to the right, go to the left, go to the right, go to the left. And you can like jump up the fucking walls in a zigzag and get to the top in like a second.
Yeah.
Like, you can do it fast as shit.
There's been some videos already released of some really cool.
There's some really cool trick jumps.
Yeah. Really cool.
And it's really awesome too because like if you're getting chased, whether it's by a Titan or by someone on the ground, you can just turn right and do this real quick if you're fast enough or good enough and just be out of there in like really, really no time at all. And that type of stuff really has me interested. Also, the fact that you can spawn and immediately get up to the top of buildings and then jump from like the top of a building to another building.
Take fall damage too.
Not take fall damage, make it over there easily and do it fast enough to where you can't get shot in air unless they're really, really good with the sniper, which I haven't seen yet because the sniper is really hard to use. But the city map to me seems more catered to what the game actually is, at least attrition wise, the game type wise, compared to this other map, which is very wide open. And it's feels a little bit more like Battlefield compared to Call of Duty. While as the city map feels more contained and there's more spaces to like jump around in, I guess is the best way to put it.
So let me ask you this, because like you played through some Battlefield and you enjoyed that, and obviously it's got a natural progression, which Titanfall does have. Do you see this as another title that you will be playing to like have some fun with for a while, but then like that's going to be it? Or do you see,
maybe? I think that Battlefield and from what I played in the beta, what I've played of Battlefield, the progression is very slow from level to level. And when you level, there's not like a fuck yeah, I got a perk, or fuck yeah, I got like some other cool thing that's going to change the gameplay immensely. It's like, all right, I got a gun. And this gun, while may have a different a different shot or a different spread to it and maybe some new attachments, like in Titanfall, when you level, you get some pretty different shit. Like there's some perks where instead of your Titan dropping in, he teleports in on the ground and it's a little bit faster. There are attachments for all the gun. That's all there. There's this thing, they're called burn cards, and these burn cards are the rewards that you get for doing different things in a game. And then at the start of whenever you die or the start of the next game, you can set up 3 cards in advance. And these cards will do a myriad of things. One of them, for example, will change your gun to a better gun that does more damage, but it's only for that life. So when you die, it's gone. You're essentially burning that card. And you will not get that gun again unless you burn another one the next round.
Oh, I see.
And by round, I mean live. Like if you die, it's gone. But there's ones that allow you to move faster. There's ones that allow you to, when you kill someone, you get more XP and more time decrease. There's one that makes like your rocket launcher better. There's pretty much one for every gun in the game that just makes it better, whether it's more damage or faster fire or stuff like that. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. There's a lot. Like I've got, and you get them pretty rapidly. I've got like 25 cards right now, and I use about 1 or 2 each round, each match. Sorry. And they were saying that there's a lot of stuff in there that card-wise that we haven't really seen, and also ability-wise. There's only 1 Titan in the beta as well, and there's only 5 guns.
Right.
So in the full game, I think there's 3. They haven't said how many guns there are. And they also keep teasing, and I don't know what this actually means, but they keep teasing this idea of what like the single-player aspect of the game is, because the game's all multiplayer. But there's some story woven into the multiplayer.
Right.
And they keep talking about like what that is, but they won't actually say what it is. But it's supposed to be there. Like there's some other stuff that's at work that you're going to be like messing around with in the full game, but no one really knows what it is yet. They haven't announced what that is. So I'm more intrigued with that.
So the beta's got you. I mean, it's got you definitely on board.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already on board. So.
Right. I mean, I was not excited for it or not hyped up for it, but it's got like a good Twitch feel to it. It's not a Quake. It feels more like Unreal than anything, to be honest, in terms of speed and not necessarily weaponry at all. But the movement feels like Unreal, where like what was it? You could like jump forward if you double tap W or something.
Yeah, you could wall jump and shit.
Yeah, it feels more like that than Quake. I also like that when a Titan comes down, you don't necessarily have to get in it, and you can hit V and change it to guard or follow.
Right.
And if you set it to guard, he'll stay in place and like kill anything that comes in the area. Or if you set it to follow, if you're jumping from like rooftop to rooftop, he'll follow you around the roof, which is pretty cool. And it's not actually like a dumb fucking AI. It's actually killed people for me or killed other Titans for me.
I definitely look forward to playing it. I'm very curious about sort of the longevity of the game. I know that it's going to have a lot of hype coming out of beta, and the fact that it is going to get both the PC and console release pretty great. I know the Xbox One owners are going to be rejoicing because I think they're just like PS4 owners would be rejoicing when Second Son finally hits as well. So cool. I'm excited to play the beta.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I'll probably be streaming, probably capture some stuff for YouTube. Oh, also the performance of the game. I'm playing on the PC, not the Xbox One. 60 FPS no matter what happens in the game.
Really?
I'm running at the highest settings. It never dropped at all for me.
That's fantastic.
My rig is kind of high end. It's got a 780 Ti, so I guess it is high end with that in it. But the processor's only a i7 2600K, so. And like, I guess 16 gigs of RAM, but still it never dropped a single frame. I have a 144 hertz monitor, and it does struggle hitting that.
Yeah, okay.
It'll average around 100 to 140 for some different areas. If I'm enclosed or things like that, it'll struggle sometimes. But 60 FPS is no problem at all whatsoever. So it's good to hear.
Definitely going to be checking that out this weekend as well, on my 3-day weekend. Fuck yeah. Thank you, presidents, and thank you for a day for presidents. We appreciate that. Awesome. Let's a couple news things that popped up. I wouldn't mind maybe talking about. So, CCP, they make EVE Online. I got kind of excited when I first read this news item. I was like, oh my gosh, World of Darkness, which is their new upcoming MMO in development. It will take influence from DayZ and Rust, and obviously we've been talking about on the show that's these types of games are really starting to make a mark. And then down at the bottom, there's a paragraph on, oh well, it's not going to be out for a bazillion years. So, you know, we're not going to really talk about it all that much. And then I was just like, instantly didn't care. Because I'm like, I think he was saying like 3 to 4 years. And I'm like, dude, in 3 to 4 years, so much in gaming can change.
Yeah.
It's really kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think that with the DayZ, I guess it's like that is a genre on its own. I don't know what that genre is, but that's a type of game now.
Yeah.
Like the DayZ game or the
right.
social shooter MMO. I don't know what the fuck that game is called. Someone needs to coin a term already. But there's definitely something to that type of game that no one has figured out yet.
Well, here's why, because people are like, well, why do you even bring this up? I bring it up because you think about CCP's experience with Eve as a massive MMO and how, you know, that has lived for so long and as such a legacy behind it. And the one thing I've always said that's missing from DayZ and Rust is that feeling of something larger. Is that like, what if Rust was taking place on a world where everyone's in the same server and you know, like you have to stake and fight for your claim that way. That to me is where I think this sort of it takes its next step and ends up. So, you know, excited for that, but then 3-4 years, it's just like, man, I think someone will do it before that.
You know, if you think about it, like EVE Online does what DayZ and what Rust aspire to, but about 4 billion times slower, right?
Right.
And I think that if someone could speed that process up to maybe a week or a month and then have one of those like insane fucking crazy fights that has like huge effects on the rest of the world in terms of the economy and everything like that, and something like that can happen every month or some big thing happens in this MMO or
that can
server space
world.
game that can affect everything. It's really awesome. Like one of the best times of my life when it comes to video games was the days of Dark Age of Camelot. And it was so fun because there would be these alarm clock raids, right? Where someone would, what it was people would set their alarms for 6 a.m. or 4 a.m. or something. And there would be like 300 people. They would all log in and they would go and steal the other people's relics. And relics would give you different bonuses to attack, damage, and stuff like that. But it was also just like a sense of pride. For those that don't know, Dark Age Camelot was set up with 3 different factions, basically. And you could go and there was these Realm v Realm zones, RVR zones, that had these huge keeps. And to be able to get into into the relic keep, you had to knock down all of their other keeps, and it had to be done very, very there was a lot of strategy involved with what you actually did.
Right.
And then once you would get the relic, you'd have to carry it back to your fort, which means that it's like it's one guy carrying this thing, and like if he dies, he drops it, and whoever picks it up then has it, and you can get it back. But these alarm clock raids would happen. It was like a really cool thing to have that amount of weight on something. And I think if they could get some of that stuff into DayZ instead of just like mindless amounts of death that don't really mean that much, I think it would be really cool.
Yeah.
But like that's a fucking hard thing to do, man. It's really tough to do.
It is. I still hope that they can pull it off, but good luck on it. I know that game's been in development for a very long time. Like they've been talking about it, but I guess this is sort of maybe that's more or less a clue. You know, like hey, you guys should be excited about this, and so I'll try to be as patient as I can. Eventually, I'm going to play Rust.
If some game ever does that, if some game can get me to wake up at 4 a.m. on Christmas morning and be more excited about raiding a relic keep than opening presents,
then you're in, right?
Then they fucking done something right. So we'll see.
All right, so here's another one. So Steam tags got added.
Yeah, what? I don't know what those are yet. I saw that and I was like, well, Steam's doing something crazy again. I'll hear about it later.
It basically, Steam users categorize games with like whatever label they can think of that would help with the discoverability of games. So maybe, for example, I like the scary shit. So maybe someone would like label a game scary, and then I could go look on Steam scary and find games that I've never seen before that would fit that description.
Weird.
Now, as you can certainly imagine, the internet was like, I've got a few good tags for you. And some of the examples are Take Gone Home, for instance, the celebrated first-person exploration game from Fulbright. It's unclear if tags are listed in a decreasing order of popularity in the game pages, but as of this writing, the first 5 tags on Gone Home Steam page include the phrases not a game, bad, overrated, and some others are walking simulator and feminist. The tag hipster garbage can also be found on the page for Super Brothers Sordid Sorcery. So, so, like, as you can imagine, no one is fucking going to look for hipster garbage in his Steam tags. But it's like, obviously, you can see the negative effect it is having. If, like, people are just like, you know, they want to backlash against the developer, they could just be like, you know, fucking piece of shit, like, total garbage, blah, blah, blah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, it's kind of one of those, like, you didn't see that one coming from a mile away because you knew it was going to happen.
Or maybe they did, and it's like, I don't know, man. I guess props to Valve for trying to do some weird, innovative shit like that. And I guess I know they're not going to get everyone right. Like, there's no way they could be that good as a company to get all that shit right. But I don't see the benefit of having that stuff.
Oh yeah, someone said that like spoiler tags were like being put in games and stuff. Like, that would make me furious.
That would be furious to like click on Tomb Raider and then like have the ending spoiled or some game like that, right?
Yeah,
that would be really frustrating.
It will. I'm sure they will fine tune it, but that's fucking hilarious hipster garbage.
That one's that one is pretty good.
Oh shit. Let's see. We talked about Nintendo Direct. Twitch plays Pokemon. We talked about Gearbox. 2 new IPs. None of them Borderlands 3.
Really?
Well, 2 new games.
When was that announced? Say what they were?
No, I don't think so. Let's see here.
I didn't hear about that.
Let's see what we got here, JP. Borderlands 3 isn't being made, as it says via the headlines, but 2 new Gearbox IPs are.
Huh.
We are not working on Borderlands 3. That is unqualified. We do have more to do in that franchise, but there isn't a Borderlands 3. When you think of what Borderlands 3 should be, it should be massive. It should be bigger and better than Borderlands 2. It should carry forward the story. Blah, 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 blah. And then he goes on to say that they're working with 2 new IPs.
I wonder what those could be.
I don't know, but I mean, you know, they're riding off of a lot of success of Borderlands, so it's kind of exciting.
Fucking massive game that was for them, by the way. Like, that sold a absurd amount of games, or absurd amount of units rather. So, Jeff Keighley tweeted that Sony told him that Tomb Raider outsold.
Oh yeah.
The Xbox One, the PS4 version outsold the Xbox One version 2-1.
It's
pretty
happening.
It's pretty nuts, man.
It's happening. It's a good day to be a PSologist.
What like 2 years ago would you have predicted
it's happening,
that the PS4 would just start dominating Xbox after what happened last generation, man?
Nope.
No one could have fucking... Michael Pachter couldn't fucking predict that shit until E3 occurred, and then everyone knew that it was going to fucking happen.
I mean, I think as a PSologist, I always like hope that would happen. But I always used to say to myself, you know, like, can't forget that there was a time where the PlayStation was just sitting on its throne, like pissing down on everyone else. And like the PlayStation 1 it was the go-to system. Like, I'm confident that Sony could retake that. And really, where Microsoft always had that firm grasp was in the U.S. market. And somewhere that changed. And I don't know why. I don't know what it was. I don't know if maybe it was too much focus on this market and maybe like that. But I do kind of feel like it is an alternate universe seeing articles like that.
It is really weird. It is really weird. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens in the future. Like, I'm trying to think of some, apart from Titanfall, like, what else do they have coming for that system? There's really nothing that's been announced, right?
Well, Halo 5, which isn't going to come in this year, so...
That's in 2015, yeah.
Yeah, so, E3, we've said this before, E3 is going to be so fucking big this year.
This year, it's going to have to be massive. Or it will be massive.
See, I don't think the Red Ring of Death had anything to do with it.
That had nothing to do with it.
I had guys that went through fucking 7, 8, 9,
I went
360s.
360s. It was still the best system last gen. There's no arguing that. And the entire reason it was the best gen is because the onset of Xbox Live. Like, Xbox Live changed so much in the world of games. It made Halo into this fucking gigantic thing, and it made Call of Duty of what it is today. Without Xbox Live, Call of Duty and Halo would fucking be nothing. Like, there's no doubt in my mind about that. So yeah, and now PS4 is playing catch up, and now Xbox One's playing catch up with PS4 because of how fucking bad they fucked up last E3.
Yeah, and it's everyone's gonna have all eyes on them, dude.
Right. You know things are bad when, and this got, for some reason, I don't know why this was picked up. It was the same story, but when the investors for Microsoft are like saying, kill the fucking Xbox division, like, we do not want this around anymore. It is a waste of money for us. So.
Do you think they would ever get there?
I don't think. I cannot foresee them ever doing that. Like, imagine what that would be like. That would just be so fucking weird for them to just be like, we're done. We're not moving forward with this anymore. There's so much money invested into that shit. And it would also suck for us as gamers, because then Sony's just like, all right, what are we doing? We're the best now.
Right.
Then Nintendo's like, hey, you remember us? Like, we still make pretty good games.
Hey, back in the Super Nintendo days, we were going to do something. You were going to like put a CD-ROM on our shit, and then you went and made it the PlayStation, and look at you now. Let's revisit that shit. No.
Yep. I don't
that is going to be the PlayStation 4 adapter for the Wii U.
Yeah. Well, apart from that, we could probably take some calls. I'll look for some other new stuff. Next week, there are some more games coming out. Strider on the 18th.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting because now Double Helix is owned by Amazon. So I don't think that had any effect on the game. But
apparently, from what I've read, it has no effect on the game at all.
It also, I mean, it's still in the development cycle. Yeah. I'm sure it had no effect on that.
There's so much shit was already in place. So.
Yep. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare on Tuesday as well for the Xbox One. How much is that? I wonder if that's a full retail or if it's like 30.
I don't know, but this might actually, I mean, in terms of like impressive looking games, just blown away by this game all the time. I
will say that Titanfall does not look like a next gen game on the Xbox One. I mean, it is not. It's not great looking.
Let's we got a first call.
Sorry, it doesn't look bad, but yeah.
Right, it's not Second Son, which make your particles or make your dick hard from watching particle effects and stuff.
$40 for Plants vs. Zombies.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We're gonna take our first call here. We got Eric on the line. Hello, Eric. Welcome to 8-Bits. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's going good, man.
Good. Yeah, I'm a big fan of both of you. I haven't ever called in before, though. So I've got two things I wanted to bring up.
Sure.
JP's was playing a lot of CSGO lately, I know. And I wanted to bring up the microtransaction system that they use. I think it's the best in any game I've ever seen. Because they're not... there's nothing that makes you better in the game. It's all cosmetic.
Right.
But the way that they've done the market is that not only is Steam making tons of money off of it, but you can sell the stuff that you make, that you earn in game, and make money yourself. So I just think it's a brilliant system. I was wondering what you guys thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Dota 2 has seen similar success in this, but it's interesting that you bring this up because this is a trend that is growing, and I've seen it in places outside of Steam. And in fact, I did mark it down in our document, but recently, you know, I'm always commenting about my son playing this game Roblox, and Roblox is kind of like, it's, I mean, the easiest way to understand, it's like a super programmable Minecraft with different rooms, and you are a player or a builder, and you build these different games within the system. But they've now adapted something similar where your creations can be purchased by other, you know, developers, and then you can be paid out. They obviously have fewer developers than, say, someone than Steam, you know, or the folks working on the Go stuff or on any of the Dota stuff. But I just think that's so cool, and not only from a development point of view, but also from the idea that, like, my son is 8. He's just started building stuff. You know, if by 13 he could understand this concept of, like, I put my time and effort into creating this thing or this game and people like it and people will buy it, like, that's an awesome lesson to be able to teach at a young age. So I feel like it benefits future programmers, future designers, future graphic artists in the ability to sort of use their skills to, you know, directly benefit them. I think it's fantastic. So, I mean, I don't know how you could say it's shit. Like, fuck that, man. People making money, like, fuck it, you know.
Yeah.
So,
but I think it's brilliant because, like you said, there's no actual, and they've done this. Valve's done this in all their games, like Team Fortress 2. They realized that it was really lame when it was more than just cosmetic shit, and so then Dota 2 and CS:GO, they've taken the approach that it's not. It has no effect on the game, and I think it's brilliant what they've done with both of those titles. Like, I've almost submitted into actually buying stuff in CS:GO, but I haven't done it yet.
I've bought stuff in Dota too.
Yeah,
I said I would.
I know a bunch of people that have bought a lot of stuff in Dota,
and I did. I totally fucking did.
I just think it's cool for the developer particularly, because not only are they making money off what you buy in game, like the keys to open the crates, but also they make money off of everything that you sell on their marketplace. So, like, you're able to make money, and they're making even more money on top of what you're making.
Of course. I mean, they have to, right? I mean, for it to sustain itself, they have to make money. But, like, that's the smartest business model there is. Really, look at, like, what eBay did. They provided a service. They took they take a fee off the top of it, and it works. And this is the same thing. Like, there is now a sub community of people who just design this shit. And they're brilliant at it, and so they should get rewarded in such a way. And I hope to see more games. You know, whether or not EverQuest Next and Landmark will sort of enter into this field, it kind of seems like they are. But you know, I'm sure it's still like a difficult thing to get into, right? Like, how do you as a company go, we're going to create shit that's going to have its own real money marketplace due to the creations that people make? Like, it's almost something that I feel like you stumble into, aka Team Fortress 2 and hats. You know, I'm sure they all thought, this is a crazy idea, let's try it. And then they were like, holy fuck, we just fucking hit a gold mine. But I think it's probably hard for an up-and-coming company to be like, you know, how do we make that happen? So, my thoughts. Did you say you had one other thing?
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to bring up was everyone was talking about the Super Smash Brothers documentary a little while ago. It was, I don't know how long exactly, but it was a great documentary. And I just heard about this other documentary called The King of Kong. It came out back in 2007, and it was really similar in the way that they did things, showing everything from the player's perspective. And it just followed these mainly two guys and their fight for the championship of the old King Kong game. And I thought it was a great documentary. Curious to see if you guys have seen it.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's available on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken, still. It is good. It kind of goes into the world of what I call score chasing, where obviously you're just trying to get the high score. Both of the characters in that movie are rather eccentric. There are some like playing up to the camera moments in that documentary, but it's still kind of cool just to see, you know, all that go down. It's fantastic. It's great. If you're actually into that sort of thing, like, no one's gonna care about this, but like four guys. But these four guys, does anyone remember Showbiz Pizza?
I've heard the name.
They also, so Showbiz Pizza eventually became Chuck E. Cheese, but they were known for having these like automated, like shows, musical shows with these automated characters and shit. There's a documentary that's out that was done by some guys that also did some work on Kings of Kong, and I can't even remember the fucking name of it right now, but it's fantastic. God, what the hell? I'll never find it now. I'll find it.
I don't know if you read books, but there's a book called Game Boys that talks about CS and competitive gaming and follows around Team 3D. Well, kind of all the teams around Team 3D era of CS 1.6. It's actually really good. And it's not too long. So if you want to check that out as well, you should.
The Rocket Fire Explosion, man.
Cool.
If you ever went to Showbiz, you got to watch this documentary. It's so good. It's so good. All right, man. Thank you, Eric, for your call.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Take
Have a
care.
good one.
Have you read that before? Game Boys.
Yep.
Did you read Raising the Stakes? I've never heard of this one.
Shit, dog.
Do you have it?
Hold on. Let me pull this book out. Because I'm pretty sure on the back of the fucking book, there's actually...
It's got a quote from djWHEAT.
It's got a recommend, yes, that you should read this fucking book right there by Marcus djWHEAT Graham, executive producer at One More Game Team. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
I need to read that maybe. I haven't read that yet.
Raising the Stakes is really good because T.L. Taylor, like, she literally immersed herself into the world. Well, in all fairness, like, so did Michael, the author of Game Boys. Both are are great.
He lived on hotel floors and shit.
Yeah,
at
man.
The events.
He just was like, yo, I'm gonna kind of be like a fly on the wall, and that's literally what he did. And TL
really
did
good
the same thing. TL was kind of interesting. Like, I got to know her a lot over like between 2004 to 2009. We're still very, very close friends, but she actually wrote a bunch of books on EverQuest and sort of the communities that got formed and like relationships that occurred over this.
That's interesting, man.
And that's how she got into the whole. She was like, I want to stay in this like realm of sort of like, you know, cyberspace, if you will. And she sort of stumbled upon esports and just fell in love. So
if they
she's a really cool gal.
If someone ever writes a book on like the history of Eve and like gets into really what happened behind the scenes with all of the spies and all that shit, that'd be really fucking interesting to read. I mean, there's already articles like Klepek's article on Eve Online on Giant Bomb that really got into it, and I think he has a couple interviews with some of those people, and it's super interesting stuff.
It is.
By the way, to go back to what you said about Landmark, have you seen any of the stuff that people are creating in that?
We
that stuff is fucking bonkers.
We looked last week on the Landmark. Let's see, EQ.
There's like a couple of airships that have been built.
Is it Landmark? No, where is it? EQ Landmark? Maybe. I'm trying to find the Reddit because I know that people are probably maybe just EQ Next. Oops, shit, man.
It's EQ Next, yeah. I just found it.
Are people posting their shit? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's just some like
this is actually just it's really
some crazy things.
Like that's some solid in-game design work right there.
Someone built a TARDIS. It's pretty nuts. That airship though was pretty fucking insane.
I want to find this airship. Valentine's Day, someone's building a giant TARDIS. Oh my god, like it's actually looks huge.
Yeah, it looks yeah.
Where is this? Wow.
I'll try to find it. Here we go. 10 incredible creations. This is from /gear. I linked to your other Skype account.
We'll take a look at it. Sweet.
Someone made a chessboard. That is nuts. It's got the chess pieces and everything. That is fucking ridiculous.
A saloon. I don't know what the hell this is, but it looks crazy. Oh my god. That's totally awesome.
The chessboard?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
You could tell already that like some people are just so attuned to the world of Minecraft because a lot of the stuff lacks curves. Like this almost looks like Minecraft Plus building right here, with the exception of that tower on the top. But I'm sure as people get better and better, they're just gonna like create the most amazing shit. Oh wow.
Yeah. Someone was saying that in terms of like all of the Minecraftian games out there, like builder games or whatever you want to call them, that this has one of, if not the most powerful tool set for it. And that the voxel can be used in so many different ways that it's really going to be nuts when people start getting into this even more so.
I believe it. That's awesome, man.
It's pretty cool. So while I will probably never touch it myself, it's really cool to see that type of stuff being built.
Knowing the amount of time that some of these folks are putting into it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like my son will probably go insane, but
yeah, for sure.
For me. Not for me. All right.
Yeah,
we
cool.
We probably got a little bit of time for a couple more phone calls. You can reach us via phone 909-581-8509 or just dial me up on Skype, djWHEAT. Someone mentioned Goat Simulator.
I don't know why I watched the trailer for that. Did you see it had an article on Time magazine like praising it?
Oh my god, it's just so ridiculously fucking insane, but there's like no point to the game. Everyone's like, we want it, I want it now, JP.
Yeah.
But then they're gonna like play around and be like, this game sucks, there's nothing to do in it, but like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks fucking hilarious, and I'm sure I'm gonna see a million videos
Stupid
that I will laugh my ass off.
Do you have any interest in Donkey Kong coming out next week on the Wii U?
Not really. I've never been a Donkey Kong Country fan, to be honest.
I played the first one. It was kind of cool, but after that, I was not a fan when like Diddy and Grandpa Kong and like what is the girl's name? Is it Ditzy or Dizzy?
It might be Dizzy. It might be Dizzy. I doubt it's
I think it's Dizzy. Yeah, Ditzy's probably too much.
What's on your go-to list for next week? I mean,
in terms of playing, yeah, I'll definitely pick up Strider on Tuesday. I'll take a look at that for sure on the PS4. I guess I'll fucking look at Plants vs Zombies. I'll at least do a JPOV of it, which means I guess I gotta buy it. I've never been a big PvZ guy.
Yeah, but
it's different,
totally different.
And it gives me something to play on the Xbox One, so I'll probably check it out. Man, the dust
blowing that dust off, son.
I was telling someone the other day that I was worried because the filter or the air grate on the top of it sits flat and it's just covered in dust. So I keep thinking I'm gonna like turn it on and the fan's gonna start spinning up and just shoot all this dust straight up
Suddenly
into the air.
No, not into the system. Fuck.
Yeah, I need to put like a rag over the fucking PS4 and Xbox One.
Does the new Thief really come out next week?
It comes out the 25th. Oh, speaking of that, I played the demo for Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 on the PC. Game looks like an Xbox 360 and PS3 game. It was not visually impressive, but
bummer.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a bummer. But it has pretty good gameplay. It wasn't terrible. Dracula is actually, or sorry, I guess that's a little bit of a spoiler. The main character is a little bit of a badass.
You watch the fucking trailer, like all right. We got a caller. Let me grab this guy. We got MH online. Hello, welcome to 8-Bits. What is up?
Hi guys. It's my first time calling, but I was calling because this crazy idea came to my head as you guys were talking about the free-to-play stuff and the EverQuest Landmark.
Right. Yeah, Landmark.
So I was just thinking that as they implement this, where we're seeing big games incorporating the aspect of player creation and then having that introduced into the world that the company makes. So do you think in something like EverQuest Landmark, as the company add to what you can build, do you think you will see like groups of I don't know, freelance architects, that would be hired to be like, I don't know, build a castle for like some player who maybe has some money and wants something like that.
As far as I know, that's kind of what's already
probably
happening.
already exists, yeah.
I mean, as I've been reading through some of the threads, just to keep up on it, like people aren't building those airships by themselves, right? Like these seem to be already established guild members that are going out and collecting materials and then building it accordingly. But yeah, like something like that is absolutely absolutely possible. I mean, I don't know if necessarily it's going to be like suddenly, Mom, when I grow up, I'm going to be an EQ landmark architect. Like I don't know how, what the extent is that is, but now that I've seen what Valve can do and sort of the success they've had.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple people making 6 figures for the Valve stuff.
Yeah. So I believe in it. I do believe in it because EverQuest is also a beloved franchise, right? Like if you bring back the whole EverQuest community, but then you're also bringing in this building community, then you are essentially growing the size of EverQuest, and that's like the smartest thing they could do. If they have a way to incentivize those people, and this whole real world money and the way that happens seems to be doing its job, like yeah, I'm all for it.
Yep, I agree.
The more, the merrier.
Do you think they'll run into copyright problems? Like I remember one of the more famous pieces in like Minecraft was a replica of King's Landing. So if someone wants to build something like that, I mean, there are a ton of like literature and universes that people like to draw on.
I mean, like I think that's where suddenly it becomes Sony's SOE's responsibility, right? Like if they are going to cater anything into the game, they're probably not just going to be all nilly-dilly about it and go to Johnny Mc, builder block and say, hey, we saw you built this huge TARDIS on the side of the mountain. Let's throw this into the main game. So no, it probably won't be an issue. I mean, I don't think it's an issue.
All right. Thanks for taking my question, guys. It's always great to tune in to 8-Bit.
Thanks very much, man. Thanks for calling.
Man.
Take care.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Yeah. Cool stuff, though.
For sure.
To see what will happen. The games for next week look pretty.
Yeah, I might pick up the Resident Evil 4 Ultimate Edition for PC. Because I never played Resident Evil 4.
Really?
Yeah, which seems like a fucking like gigantic mistake, obviously, but that's why. I wonder if it's gonna have online co-op because that would be fun to play through that. Because
no.
Was it? It was always single player, right?
It was only single players.
They didn't introduce co-op till 5.
Well,
right?
Yeah, there was a you had President's daughter. Is there Ashley? I don't fucking remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to deal with her.
I see. And then 3 weeks from now is when South Park comes out.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
And then the week after that is Dark Souls Titanfall. And the new Yoshi's Island.
Is it?
Woo!
Did you skip over Second Son?
Second Son is late March.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm thinking it's March.
Second Son comes out the 28th, I think. I think that's right.
Yeah, fuck, I'm excited.
There was supposed to be on, I think it was either Wednesday morning or Tuesday morning. The embargo was supposed to lift for that, but I didn't see any coverage of it, at least extensively. I want to see as much as that game as possible because it looks fucking unreal. It looks truly next gen, I think, to fucking go there and use that stupid buzzword. But
go there, JP, go there.
Should be good.
Rambo the video game.
Oh, sick!
Can't wait. Who the hell makes this shit?
Are on March 11th? Will you be playing Dark Souls 2 first, or will you be playing Titanfall first?
Dark Souls 2, probably.
I don't know what I'm gonna do because I think I'll start Dark Souls, and then when I get too frustrated, I'll play Titanfall for an hour, and then go back to Dark Souls.
That sounds like a good idea.
But I'm pretty excited. I made the decision to order it on Amazon instead of picking it up at midnight and sleep in, only because I wanted the collector's edition.
For
and
Dark
only
Souls?
because, and I didn't want to fucking go fight idiots at midnight for... Like I hate going to gamer lines, man. It's so meh. I'm so not into that. I've waited. I
It's
waited in
been a
line
while,
for.
dude. I haven't done it for a long
I
time.
think the last time I did it was Halo 3. Yeah, I think it was Halo 3.
Nah.
Or no, wait,
Cloud.
never mind.
Cloud all day.
I did it for Halo 3 and I did it for all of the WoW expansions until they started releasing them online, which was the smartest thing Blizzard's ever done.
Yeah.
Ever. The fact that you could just be in game and then it just flips the switch and you don't even have to log out. It just works and you can go talk to the quest giver.
And you're
so fucking smart.
Meh.
Yeah, man. I hate fucking waiting in that. Those lines are so weird. They've gotten better about it though. I've heard they let you go in and like prepay and then you can come back right at midnight and just walk through.
Yep. Yeah.
You don't have to stand in line with a bunch of other awkward nerds and be awkward together.
Yep. That is true. That's smart to do. All right. I'm gonna wrap up here. And what do you got going on this weekend? Big day tomorrow?
Tonight I think I'm gonna finish Baldur's Gate 1 tonight. I think I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna stream until I fucking beat it. Because that game I've been playing for like 3 months now. And I can only play it in like hour periods each time because I'm recording it for YouTube.
Right.
So I think tonight I'm just sitting down, streaming it until I finish it. I think I'm only like 4 or 5 hours out. So nice. I hope I'm only like 4 or 5 hours out.
I'm going to not stream tonight because my wife's parents, they own a restaurant in Lincoln and they are shutting it down next week and their food is amazing. So we are literally going to just fucking gorge ourselves tonight.
Wait, shutting down for good?
Yeah, they're gonna like help a few other folks open restaurants, and then like our dad's gonna retire. He's been working like every day for the past fucking.
Damn it!
Years.
So I missed my. We should have gone then.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, like we still got their kitchen, right? But it's just like
that's true.
It's that place, yeah. So
I guess they can always just cook.
Go down there tonight and
sweet.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow we got R&D.
Yes.
And I think we're playing 5 hours tomorrow.
Okay.
So we're going an extra hour because Sean said if we wanted to, we could, since it's his final R&D day. Man, what's that?
Will he die?
I don't know. We'll have to. I think me and you are about to die.
What do you mean?
In front of that glass wall with the hammer or whatever. We'll see how that ends up.
I don't think we're gonna die.
I can't lose 2 in a week, Wheat. I can't do it.
No. Why did you lose one? Another one?
Perhaps.
Oh.
I'll tell you off stream. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Then Sunday I think is going to be my just fuck off day and watch House of Cards 2 probably.
Word. Awesome. Yeah, same schedule. I mean, R&D on Saturday, so I'm excited. Now, Dungeon World's going to continue, right? Regardless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, unless we all die tomorrow, then I don't think we're going to recreate. I think I've worked it out with Steven, or sorry, spoken with Steven that we'll keep playing Go 8 episodes unless we all die.
Okay.
So I'll probably... I've spoken to a couple people in terms of getting a replacement, someone else to play. I don't like using the word replacement. Someone else to play,
another guest.
so that we have four player characters.
An RPG, a role playing guest.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's sick.
There you go. I like that.
I like that. So yeah. Okay. We'll do that. Also, I didn't realize this, but Tuesday is the 1-year anniversary of the creation of Roleplay.
I saw that on the subreddit. Yeah. That's pretty badass.
Unfortunately, we're not able to play on Tuesday because Misclicks won't give us the day, and they have to do their show instead. So it's a little bit upsetting to me, but oh well. I think we're playing Monday regardless for Solomon. Yeah.
GG. All right. Yeah, Sunday I'll be doing rigged Sunday giveaways and all that shit. Maybe I'll have some extra Titanfall keys to give away. We'll see what happens. And then Monday I don't fucking President's Day, man. So I'm gonna game all day too. So.
Oh, yeah, Monday's like a day off for everyone.
Yeah. And I'll be playing a lot of Bravely Default in the meantime. So. Not cheesily.
Oh shit! I got charged my 3DS.
Oh shit! Oh my god! One more story before I hang it up.
Sure.
So, I'm like the way that I would play it is that like obviously I'm like working through the day, so I'll like go upstairs and I'll take a break and I'll be like, okay, I'll get all the chests on this dungeon and do the fights and whatever, and then I like close it. And I would like always know, you always kind of know when you're about to fight a boss because there's this guy just standing there that lets you save, and you're like, oh, gee, I wonder.
Right.
So anyway,
it does the typical JRPG or the RPG thing where you can save right before.
So I get to that point, and like because I put my thing in sleep so much, sometimes I don't save all the time. Like I'll just save when I turn it back on or whatever. And so I closed it, I went and plugged it in. And I went and grabbed it. And I was like currently building like one of my longest, a level 11 thing in the game. And I came back to it like 4 hours later after work. And I went to pick it up from the charge station. And when I grabbed it, I fucking popped the game card out. And you know what happens when you pop the game card out? Bloop! Peace! Yeah. Goodbye, 11 hours.
You know what my story with Bravely Default is? I don't think I told you this. On Friday after the show last night, I was bored. I was like, all right, I'm going to Fry's. I'll buy the game. I need to look at some other stuff at Fry's, and I'm doing it. I get to Fry's, and they're like, yeah, we didn't get our shipment in. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, well, I guess I'll go over to Best Buy. Get over to Best Buy, another 10, 15-minute drive. Get to Best Buy, and I don't see it on the shelf. I'm like, yeah, our shipment didn't come in. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? And so I like get on my phone, and then I start checking places instead of just going there.
Right.
Nowhere in Dallas. No one in Dallas got their shipment in on Friday.
Really?
And so then I'm at Best Buy, and it's like, do I buy this SD card for $50 and just waste the shipment? Or do I just go home and not play? So I sat there for like 5 minutes like, God, if I buy this, I'm really going to hate myself. Like, God, I can't. I go to Amazon. It's like, how much does this cost? Oh, God, it's like $40 cheaper. Like, fuck me. So I put it back and I came home and I deleted everything off of my SD card and then installed Bravely Default.
Nice.
And then ordered a 32 gig from Amazon.
Nice. Good.
And I hope that I've heard that there are some issues with transferring stuff on an SD card. So I hope that Bravely Default lets you move the saves because Pokemon does not.
Interesting.
Which is kind of stupid. But whatever.
All right. But whatever.
Yeah.
And thus
also,
ends.
the fact it only comes with a 4 gig card to start.
It's
lame
like
as
shit. It's lame as shit.
I should have done that when I bought it because it's not like the Vita where it cost $100 to buy a card.
Right. Nowadays, you just get them for cheap. So, all right, guys. Thanks for joining us to another episode of 8 Bits, number 24. We'll see you. Actually, I need to talk to you. I won't be here next week.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that. But we'll be back the following week. And after. So thanks for joining us yet again. We'll see you next time. We are out of here. Peace.
Bye-bye.